Hello friends, myself Dr. Ajay Kumar Tiwari, Associate Professor, Maharshi Arvind College of Pharmacy, Jaipur. I am here to sharpen your skills to create a visual PowerPoint presentation. Here now, before proceeding with the presentation, I need to know some answers from your side. Do you consider any parameter before preparing a presentation? If yes, then what parameters do you consider and how do you implement them in your presentation? Pause the video, think of it, write down the answer in your notebook, then proceed this video. The basic learning objectives of this presentation are: after this presentation you will be able to create your own presentation with choice of layout and design effectively. Through this presentation, you will be able to use different font and colors in your presentation. You will be learning to incorporate graphics or images in your presentation, and through these all, you will be able to make an impressive presentation with visual effects. Here, now how to prepare the visual presentations. We have three basic steps to prepare the presentation. The first is planning, which involves the planning, execution and impressing the audience. The planning involves the content of your presentation and how to organize that content in your slide. The another aspect is execution. Execution includes the outline of the content as well as the graphics, which is most important. Then comes to the part of impressing the audience. The choice of font, color and visual effect can make your presentation impressive. Now, how to organize your content on the slide. So here is the basic thumb rule of 6 by 6. It means every slide should not contain more than 6 points of your content. Each point should not contain more than 6 words. So it would be a good practice and advisable. Now you have to choose template or design own template which promotes readability of your content in a better way. You have to use short phrases or abbreviated sentences rather than full sentences. You need to select a suitable font type with size of 24 points or larger will be recommendable. Now, as a part of outline of your slide, so you need to convert your content in 3 different parts like topic, subtopic and bullets. Have a separate slide for each topic with title of the topic. Use short phrases instead of sentences while you writing the bullets of subtopics. Include graphics, which is most recommended. Now if we talk about the graphics, we have a question. Do graphics improve learning? Yes, of course, the graphics improves the learning. We have some evidences and findings. So these studies compare the lessons that contain text alone with lessons that contains text with visuals, means graphics, and the findings suggest that this combination improved the learning. So here are some kind of studies and reports. I will describe them. Richard and Mayer reported an average learning gained with 89% in lesson version that added relevant visual to the text. Clark and Mayer proved that people learn more deeply from text with visuals than text alone. Another empirical evidence from e-learning and science of instruction book by Clark and Mayer, which reveals the use of graphics in e-learning, shows that placing the text near illustration describes and facilitates the learning process to a good extent. So we have to use the graphics to improve the learning and use these graphics with text rather than just text alone. We have to place words and graphics together. Now, as a part of execution, we have the graphics that are two types: static graphics and motion graphics. Static graphics includes diagrams, images, graphs, tables, illustrations, and motion graphics includes the movable graphics that can be designed through animations or videos. However, be careful while using graphics. Look out for the copyright issues about the use of graphics. So here we can say some cautions should be taken while using graphics. Every search engine allows you to use the graphics which are copyright free. Use them. In case you use graphics or visuals or a sentence from any place, please give the reference of same at the end of content or slide. It is a good practice to follow, and audience will also appreciate and start following it. Now here the question about the color. The incorporation of color. Do you use the colors to improve the learning in your presentations? So why to use the colors? The colors in your presentation reflects the mood of presenter. The color reflects and have the meanings. It have the conventional meanings, and the color gives the impression. Here is the color guideline through which you will learn how to use the colors. Here you can see the difference of point 1, 2 and 3. Which one do you consider the most readable? So according to this color guideline, if we have the bright classroom for our presentation, at that time the black text or white background can be used for the presentation for more contrast as well as for more readability. If we have the dim light or dark room, the white text on black background is advisable for more readability by the audience. If we use the pale or vivid color, it gives the poor readability. So avoid the use of pale or vivid colors in your presentation. Choose colors and their schemes which suits the content accordingly. So here I will show you how the background of fonts and color background gives their impression. See now the difference between point 1, point 2, point 3. The point 3 have the dark background, so give the more readability of white fonts. Now if we talk about the font or typography, my question over here is which font option you think can emphasize a word most? Pause the video, think of it, write down the answer in your notebook, then proceed with the presentation. Here to impress the audience, we have multiple font options which can be included in our presentation through ribbon in PowerPoint presentation software. The normal font gives, I am exemplifying with the word emphasis itself. The normal font you can observe over here, the bold gives the more emphasis to the word, italic gives the another impression, underline gives the different impression than that of the shadow. option gives the emphasis to the word, very similar to that of the bold but quite different. The color gives the different impression than that of the other options. And here if I incorporate all the options to a particular word, how it looks? Very bad. So try to give one or two font options to a word or sentence, that will be advisable and gives them better impression. Here is the basic guideline for the font. The minimum font options that can be chosen are two fonts that are most suitable. So to emphasize a word or sentence, one font option is advisable, but two can be used but very rarely. The left text alignment should be preferred, but it depends on template at times. Most of us, while preparing the presentation, do not use the grid lines, guides and rulers. So it is advisable to use the options which are there in the view option of the ribbon. Here to incorporate the visual effects, we have some suggestions like slide transition must be incorporated through the transition option in your PowerPoint presentation software. The text, graphics, animation can be incorporated through the animations option in the ribbon. We have the multiple options through which we can have an impressive presentation. So in another video I will give a guideline how to use the animations, transition and incorporate the graphics in the presentation. The equal importance should be given to the content and presentation templates that can be given through the font options, the different colors and by incorporation of different types of graphics to the slides. I recommend you to testify them all before presenting. Here is the common guideline which should be followed while preparing the presentation. Always have a setup file of fonts that have been used in your presentation, because that fonts can be missing at the presentation place where you are going to present. So keep that setup files of fonts with you every time when you go for the presentation and install them in the suitable laptop or computer which is to be provided to you while presenting. Incorporate high quality graphics that reinforce your message. Highlight the most important parts of your slide or presentation through the different font options. Use animation, slide transition, audio and video sparingly. So here the important thing is, don't use the animation, slide transition and any other impressions to your slide to the greater extent. So it may give the bad impression to the audience. So as per the need of your content, use the animation and slide transition or graphic part in your presentation. Always give reference at the end of slide for graphics, visual or text which you have incorporated in your presentation and taken from other places. So friends, happy learning. Thank you. Feel free to contact if you have any query.